What's up everyone, Carter here, and in this video I just want to talk a little bit about my story, as an entrepreneur, making money online, being a full-time high school student, and on the varsity basketball team. I feel like I don't share enough personal information that, goes along with the journey of making money online. The same thing goes for most YouTubers or people on Instagram who are entrepreneurs and portray, this lifestyle of living lavish with all these great things, but, they never talk about their day-to-day tasks other than just business that makes them happy. And I just want to be as honest and transparent as possible on my channel, and I want people to know more about me, how I was able to build a business while in high school, and the sacrifices that I made while running that business, while being in high school, while being captain of the varsity basketball team. And that's the story I want to talk about in this video. And there's two keywords that I'm actually going to bring up quite a few times within the story, and that's freedom and adversity. Now, as we get into the story, I do want to break down freedom and adversity and just talk about how exactly it's transformed my life and my career as an entrepreneur and as a person, and potentially how you're gonna go through the same thing. Like maybe you're chasing freedom financially, or maybe you wanted to take more vacations, or maybe quit your job, or pick up a side hustle, whatever it is. You're chasing freedom, but with freedom comes adversity, and that's exactly what I want to talk about in my story. So let's go ahead and get started. The first word I want to talk about is freedom. Now, the way that my business is structured is that I'm able to make money online, and it doesn't even matter what I'm doing or where I am. It's basically somewhat of a semi-autopilot income, and that's awesome because when it came to basketball season, I decided I wanted to make basketball my #1 priority. Now, I had never done that in my life. Business had always been, my #1 thing. I'd made business a priority over most things in my life, and that's also, what helped me be so successful. But when it came to my senior season, I realized, I'm not going to have another opportunity to play basketball for my school again. Business will always be there. I'll always be able to make money after the season, next year, the year after that, but I'll never have another chance to play for a school. And, I'll put some screenshots and pictures on here just of, what I'm basically telling through the story. And I personally don't think enough YouTubers talk about this stuff, and I would like you to learn more about my personal life. And a big thing about me is I love basketball. I've played it my whole life. Before I even started my online business, I was a hooper, playing since I could barely even walk and shoot the ball in those little 4-foot hoops, and I just really enjoyed the game of basketball. That brings me to this picture I'm showing you right here with some of my season awards. I shot 78% from the free throw line, which was a team leading percentage. I was second team all district for 2 years in a row, and running Mustang of the year. But that's not the point of the story. There's a lot that actually goes into how I got those awards, and how I personally had to sacrifice my business in order to have the best season of basketball possible. So just like I mentioned, I basically sacrificed the full amount of time that I had been putting into my business to then put back into my varsity basketball season as a senior. Now that was super tough for me. I love doing the whole Amazon FBA, YouTube, affiliate marketing. I just love making money in general, but I had to put it off to the side because I'm never going to get this opportunity again. And that brings me to basically the beginning of my story. And that's leading into the regular season. I was mainly somewhat of a leading scorer, in the scrimmages and games leading up to the regular season. I had a great season last year. I averaged about 12.5 points per game as a junior, second team all district as well. And I just wanted to have a great season. I wanted to average 15 plus. I wanted to be the leading scorer of the team. And as we're leading up to the regular season, the games where they actually start counting, I'm doing great. We get into our first regular season game. It's a home game. It's packed. There's a giant student section. I think I have like 2 or 3 giant bobbleheads of mine there in the student section my friends are holding. My whole family's there ready to watch me. And in the first quarter of the first game, I'm going on a fast break. I'm going for a layup, and I step on someone's foot and sprain my ankle really bad. I'll put some screenshots up on here as well. And I mean, to me, it was devastating because in my my whole high school career, the 4 years I've been playing basketball in high school, I've never really been injured. So for me, the first game of the regular season, my senior year, the year that I was looking forward to my whole life, to do great things within my season, scoring and rebounding and assists. I hurt myself the first game, and it was horrible, and I had to get carried off the court. I had to go to the trainer. I came back with a giant ice pack. For 2 or 3 days, it was super swollen and purple, and it was tough for me because I've been doing all these things online, having great success, and I've decided, what, I'm gonna push it off to the side a little bit. I'm gonna put it on autopilot, and I'm not gonna put much time into it. I'm gonna focus all on basketball and have the best basketball season. And all of a sudden, the first game of the season, I injure myself. But the great thing is, I kept my head up and I got right back into rehab, conditioning. I was icing it. I was, planting on it, doing some jogging, sprinting, and I'd say about a month back into the season, I'd kind of worked my way back into the lineup. I didn't start coming back. I have another picture. Like, I had high tops, I had my ankle taped, wrapped, and I also had a brace. So I had it basically like triple done. So I was ready to go. Still, I didn't have the same agility as I had earlier, but I was just glad to be on the court because once again, it's my senior season, and I'll never be able to, play basketball at another high level again. So I was just glad to be on the court. And about a week or two, I started picking it back up, hitting my threes, attacking the basket, getting a lot more mobile, and I worked my way back into the lineup. And it was really important because we're about to enter district. And for those people that don't really understand sports or basketball, but basically within your district, those are games really, really matter because that's going to depend on like where you rank within your district or your conference. So then you can hopefully, place really well. So that's going to help you enter the playoffs or the tournament or whatever it might be. Now, I believe it was like the third game of district. I'm going up for a crazy layup. I get tangled with someone. He lands extremely badly on my same foot, and I sprain my ankle bad. Once again, I'm done. So I'm laying there on the ground, holding my ankle, and, I just see everybody in the stands just go silent. Everybody sits down and just watches me as I have a trainer around me. I have two of my teammates, have to carry me off while I'm limping back off for the second time at a home game. I'm having to limp off the court, and it was horrible for me. I was I was devastated. And this time I wasn't even like sad. I was mad. I was angry. I was like, why is this happening to me? It's my senior season. I already made super big sacrifices. I already sacrificed my business, and I sacrificed time hanging out with friends because, I really wanted to make the best of my senior basketball season. And, I just hurt my ankle again for, the second time. I was devastated. We're in the most important part of our season, and here I am injured, having to go back through the same thing. Now, here I am, back where I was about a month previous, just injured my ankle. So now I had to go back through the same rehab, except it was 2 times as hard because it was more painful. I had to go through rehab. I was having to ice it. I was having to do cryotherapy. They were doing cryotherapy just on my ankle, which if you don't know, it's freezing. It's freezing. It was very uncomfortable. I was having to do even more conditioning, more sprinting, running, just trying to work my way back into the lineup so I could just try to play, the remainder of my senior season. And luckily it was just an ankle sprain. It's not like it broke anything, tore anything. So, within 2 or 3 weeks, I was, back into the game, back into the lineup, working my way back up. And I was able to catch basically the second half of district, which we did pretty well, and leading into playoffs, which was awesome. I got to, start my first playoff game, which was amazing. It was a huge atmosphere. We played a school called Little Elm. They had a player called R.J. Hampton. I'm sure you can Google him. He's most likely going to go to Kentucky or Duke and then on to the NBA. They ended up beating us by 6, but it was a really, really good game, and that environment is, what I've, practiced for my whole life. All the games and AAU and practices that I've done, led up to that one game, and unfortunately we didn't win, but, it was all about the journey to get there. Now, luckily this past season, we actually broke the school record in wins with 25 wins, so that was a really, really cool accomplishment that I got to be a part of. They're going to hang that up on the wall, the class of 2018, 2019, varsity basketball team picture of us, and, we had the school record of wins, so I personally think that's a really good big accomplishment. I was able to be, I believe, either the 3rd or 4th scorer, highest scorer on the team season-wise, so that was really cool, even though that I missed, probably 8 to 10 games. In some games, I was only really getting a couple minutes of playing time, trying to work my way back in. But honestly, when I look back at it, it was a great season. My best friends are on the basketball team. I learned a ton. I still made money during the season as well. But it's all about the journey to success. Now, the reason I wanted to share this story is, it might not be super business related, but I'm a business person. You all know me as, the high school hustler on YouTube and Instagram. You see me posting all these ways to make money online, but you don't really know much about me personally, what I like doing in my free time, and what life is like as, an online entrepreneur. And to be honest, it's just the same as anyone else. I still have the same life. It's just the way that I make money is a lot different. I'm putting myself out on YouTube. I've made over like 175, free YouTube videos for everyone to go and watch and learn from, and hopefully they can make money as well. It's just something I enjoy doing. But when it comes down to it, the money doesn't really matter. I'm still doing the same things I enjoy. I'm hanging out with my family, my friends, and playing the game of basketball. And that's why I told this story, because first off, the first word I said was freedom. I was able to have the freedom to, kind of set my business off to the side, where I was still able to make passive income without putting in the amount of time that I've been putting in, maybe say in the summer or prior to the season starting. Now, adversity, as you can see, I made all those sacrifices just so I could focus on one thing solely, and I injured myself twice during the time frame of the regular season, and that was super heartbreaking for me. And there's a lot of adversity, the second word that I mentioned. I was constantly having to go through rehab and working on it, making it stronger, more mobile, so I could work my way back into the lineup. So those two words were two very key words that I went over through my story. And personally, I think that everybody goes through in their life and in their online business. You're going to go through some adversity. You're probably going to lose some money. Maybe you lose a client. Maybe you choose a bad product, or you get a return, or something's going to happen. You can't let that just end you. You have to fight through it, learn from that mistake, and don't make that same mistake again. And honestly, on this channel, I just want to be a lot more transparent about myself. I feel like people enjoy these kind of stories. Who is the high school hustler? What does he do other than just make money online videos and sell on Amazon and do YouTube and affiliate marketing? What else does he do? So I'll try to post some more content like this. I do think it's really interesting how I can kind of tie back, my, personal background, my personal journey, back into business. And if you guys don't really like that kind of content, then, feel free to, unfollow or unsubscribe from me, because I feel like me being transparent and me being honest and real is ultimately what people want to see. So I'm going to keep trying to provide the best value possible, keep trying to, teach lessons, and, put myself as the example of someone who had to go through adversity, someone who achieved freedom, and someone who hopefully you can follow as well. And I just want to be as transparent and as honest as I can on this YouTube channel. So if you did happen to watch through this full video, go to the description of this video, go to my Instagram, DM me, message me. I want to personally thank you for everything. For watching the video. I really do appreciate it. I didn't know how well this video would do on my channel, because it's not really too much business related. However, I did tie it back into, some business topics, freedom, adversity. But if you did enjoy it, go to my Instagram, message me, let me personally thank you, and feel free to ask me any questions that you would like, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Anyways, like this video, go comment below with something that was valuable of this video, or maybe something that you're personally struggling with, or how you found freedom, or how you had to go through adversity in your business. Comment that below. I definitely think it could help the whole YouTube community. So feel free to comment below and subscribe to this channel. I'll see everyone in the next video.